Hi, it's Sarah from Canine Companions. Thanks for joining me. I'd like to talk a little bit about fetch today because this is a game that gets mixed reviews from trainers. Some people really like it, other trainers advise against it. I'm on the I really like it side, but there are a few caveats. One of the main concerns about fetch is that if you send your dog out really fast to retrieve a ball over a long distance, it gains a lot of momentum, and then when your dog slams on the brakes to get the ball, they can put an enormous amount of stress on the shoulders and their joints, leading to long-term injury further down the line. And this is definitely a valid concern. But to my mind, it's pretty easy to mitigate, and that is just don't throw the ball too far. I'm not a fan of chuckets because they give your dog a lot of distance to build up that speed. I have very happy memories of my childhood dog and I playing fetch. I was about, 8, 9, 10 years old. We were in our back garden, and I would throw the ball for my dog, and he'd bring it back, wag his tail, drop it, and I'd pick it up and throw it again, and we'd play that game for quite a long time. And he was very happy. He was a border collie, high energy dog, but the distance that a little girl could throw was quite enough to keep him happy. So think about that when you're playing fetch with your dog. Another concern is the state of mind that your dog is in when they are playing fetch. It's not a thinking game, it's a reactive game. Your dog is in chase mode, which is part of the predatory sequence, and certain parts of their brain are shutting down at that point, and they definitely are in a reactive state of mind. And again, to me, this is easy to mitigate, and you get a bonus, and that is teaching your dog to switch mindsets and learn a little bit of impulse control, and that is to throw in some obedience into the match, into the game. You can see me here doing this with Johnny. I throw the tug, not too far, he brings it back, and not a lot of distance there. I ask for a sit before I throw, sometimes I ask for a down, sometimes I ask for a couple of behaviors, and he has to stop and think about it. And when I really make him think is when I put him in a sit beside me and I toss the tug, and he has to wait until I tell him he can get it. This is definitely impulse control. So when he finally does get off to chase that tug, he's in that reactive state of mind, but then when he comes back to me and gives me the tug, he is in a more thinking state of mind because he has to listen to me to figure out what I'm going to say next in order for him to get access to that toy that he wants so much. And that also brings me to what you use to play fetch. If you're using a ball, that's great, but your dog is just going to bring it back to you and you have to throw it again. There isn't a lot of interaction with you, whereas with a tug toy, when my dog brings it back to me, we have a nice little game of tug together, and we have I'm in the game as well. And then finally, the last thing about fetch that trainers have some concerns about is you need to understand if you're sending your dog out long distances at a high speed to run and get that ball, you are, yes, partly tiring out your dog, but you're also building a better athlete. And if you want a top-notch athlete, that's fine. I mean, Johnny's a sport dog. I actually do want an athlete. You might not if your dog is a pet that you just want to take out for a walk once or twice a day and be calm in the home. So yes, you're tiring your dog out physically, but there are some issues around that. You're actually better off if you do as I did and throw in some obedience and get them to stop thinking about it, because brain work is actually more tiring than physical work. The example I use for people is with my old dog, I could play fetch, for 15 minutes and he wouldn't even be tired. Whereas if I took that same toy and hid it in the garden, after 15 minutes of hunting, he'd be moving a lot more slowly at a trot rather than a run, but he was exhausted and he had a good long sleep afterwards. Both of us were very happy. So play fetch with your dog by all means, but play it thoughtfully, and don't just get your dog running, get your dog thinking as well. And honestly, I think you'll both be happier with the result. So I hope that helps you. Play with your dog, enjoy your dog. Bye for now.